All right, hello everyone, it's silverkyle, and today we are going to be taking a closer look at the binding for the Flash by Geoff Johns Volume 2 Omnibus. And I've already done an overview of this, so if you want to check that out, I will put a link in the description box below. And it's actually, if it's more beneficial almost if you see that, because at the time I had only stretched this book out twice, and it was tight. It was wanting to close on itself. And that's an unfortunate thing with a lot of DC releases, more so their modern stuff, because for whatever reason, if you look at like a Golden, a Silver Age, or Bronze Age, they do a lot better of a job with their binding, which totally doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. Whereas more of their modern stuff, it's a lot tighter. There's too much glue to keep these books sealed tight almost. And they do that because they want to, like after multiple reads, the glue would potentially help with keeping the book intact. But it just makes for a lot of gutter loss. It makes the book want to close shut at the beginning and at the end of the book. And it just makes for an overall less enjoyable experience. And I'll kind of give you some examples. So this is Volume 2. And Volume 1 is exactly like this was during my overview of it when I had only stretched it out twice. So let's show you what I mean by being too tight. So we open it up. The hardcover is not even staying flat. It wants to pop back up. A few pages in, automatically just wants to close. 73 pages in, closes. So you would have to keep this open, and now we're seeing that there's gutter loss here. If I just leave that open, I have to push it down to even read everything. And we're not even talking about a 2-page spread where we're looking at the art, just to read what's actually going on with the story. 100 pages in, still wanting to close. 250 pages, still closes. Go in the middle, closer to the middle anyway, and we finally get it to lay flat. There is still gutter loss though, because there's no eye. Look at that. In a perfect world, this would be sticking out. Like this eye, this little hole here, would be pushed all the way up here so that you could read everything and have so little gutter loss. It wouldn't, I mean, you can never compare it to a comic, but like a single issue, but it's a lot like most Marvel books I'm perfectly fine with, but this is just wrong. Now, as we get closer to the end, it's going to want to close itself again. And these are not big omnis. These are under 900 pages. But now let's take a closer look at Volume 2, which I've done an overview of when I only stretched it out twice, and it was exactly like that first book. Look at that. It's not jumping back up. Just the hardcover already is opening better. A few pages in, staying open. It's still popping up a bit, so this is still not the greatest book. But if you have the time and patience, there's a different way to stretch these out that I will be showing in the next little bit. And I wanted to show, well, here's a 2-page spread. That's only, what 30 pages in maybe? And there was another one too. This one. 2-page spread, still some gutter loss. But it's a lot easier for you to be able to maneuver this. And there's not as much as what we used to have because I stretched it out. I took my time and stretched it out. And I will do a video of that in the next little bit so you can kind of see what I had done. So that's the beginning of the book. Now, if we go closer to the middle, obviously we're going to be perfectly fine. We'll go to the middle, close enough to the middle, so I can show you the eye now. Look at that. There is an eye. There's an actual eye to a book that did not have one after I'd stretched it out twice. And if we go further, let's say maybe right there, we can still see that there's an eye. Not the greatest eye, not comparable to Marvel at all, but it's staying open now closer to the end. Page 736. I don't know where that is, but we're near the end. Two-page spread near the end. Look how many pages there are left. And staying open. So much better than what I had normally done. So I will be doing an actual video of that. We're going to stretch out the first volume, and that'll be my next video where I kind of go into detail about this. It was from somebody else that I had seen on YouTube through comments on my page, actually. So this is a different way, and it might, down the line, you have to be very careful. But when you can open a book now like this and be a few pages in, and it's not one, whoops, I kind of bent it there, and it's not one to open and close shut, major difference. Like, you can't compare the two. So thank you all for watching. Stay tuned. In the next few days, I'll be doing a video of this, and then we're going to actually go look at the Snyder and Capullo Batman Omnibus, see if I can do it on that, and see if it improves. I'm sure it's going to improve. We're going to see how much better it'll improve once I try it out on that as well. So thank you all for watching. You've been bearded in. Beardage!